Hi, I'm Avery Litton.
And I'm Julian Tim.
And this is CANSO, a reverse engineering project.
So for the start of this project, we were given a Tribit X Sound Go, which is a portable and affordable speaker that's a really budget-friendly option, and it has a Bluetooth connection. So some of the key features that we found were its balanced sound, it has pretty good bass, and a very long battery life. It's also super durable. We found that it's waterproof and it's suitable for outdoor and wet environments. We disassembled the speaker and we used the parts to create our own.
These are some of the pros and cons that we found while using the speaker. The pros were that it's wireless, it has a modular connection. You can connect two speakers at the same time to play the left and the right channel. It also has a small size and it's non-intrusive design. The cons that we found was the sound quality. For our user, it would not provide high enough quality sound. Secondly is the ease of use in the modular connection. It's very difficult and not very straightforward on how to connect the two speakers together. Thirdly, the buttons and controls are not very tactile and they're kind of hard to press, and there's not any feedback when you press them. And lastly is the aesthetics. It's a very basic looking small black speaker and there's nothing really special about it.
So for our user, we selected a yoga and meditation instructor between the age of 30 to 50. This person specializes in Zen yoga classes, and they have calm background tracks playing through their sound systems. They often spend long days teaching in the same room using the same speakers. So sound is definitely an essential thing to provide to these people. It gets a relaxing experience for the students, and it can amplify the voice of the instructor.
Some of the challenges that we found in our research of the user when using speakers is the complexity and setup. A lot of the speaker systems that we found are very complex, and it's very hard to find a speaker system for studios that fit the instructor's needs. Secondly is the audio quality. There's not a very good balance between really high quality and a more affordable price point, and then also is versatility. We didn't find anything that was versatile enough for a yoga instructor.
So as far as our user preferences go, they wanted a whole room coverage for the sound. They wanted it to be even. You can hear the sound from every corner of the room at about the same volume. They also wanted it to have hidden wires and kind of blend into the room, so it didn't want to stand out and subtract from the environment that they're trying so hard to create. And they also want instructor amplification, so they want to be able to hear their instructor through the microphone clearly, so they can do what she says.
We also did research on when and where the user would use the speaker, and the primary use would be inside the studio during classes, but also we found that a lot of instructors like to have outdoor classes in various locations, so they would need something that is portable.
For the user expectations and values, we wanted to have a seamless integration and effortless operation. A lot of people have a hard time using the technology in these studios, especially if you're not as technologically advanced. You might have a hard time getting these set up for daily function. And we also wanted to have a reliable quality audio, something that's consistent and high fidelity, that sounds good for the background and her voice. It just needs to be a well-rounded speaker that is very simple to use and straightforward.
We interviewed a yoga instructor that we know. Her name is Dina. She has taught over 500 yoga classes and has been an instructor for many years. She said that she would definitely use a wireless speaker if she was buying a speaker system for the first time for her studio, and she would want the speakers to be mounted in the ceiling so that they could be hidden. And she said that she wants a receiver that could be placed in another room to keep it away from view. So basically she's saying that she wants something that you don't see, that doesn't interfere with the environment of the studio.
So based on our research, there's no speaker that is really aesthetically pleasing, modular, and wireless all in one. We searched far and wide, and everything almost had one part missing. Like, there was always a piece that just wouldn't suit what we needed. It was either too clunky if it was wireless, or if it was off the floor, it had giant wires leading to it, or it was on a big stand, and just things like that. There was nothing that we could find from our research that aligned exactly with the values that we wanted to portray in a speaker.
We couldn't find anything that had the function of being a permanent feature in the studio and also being portable.
Yeah.
So the key design points that we came up with, we wanted it to be wireless, have a modular design, and with a portable option. We also wanted it to add to the atmosphere and not subtract from the Zen environment of the studios, and we also wanted it to be suspended off the floor.
So for our refinements, our concept sketch is focused on materials and functionality. We wanted to create something that had, that really nice natural look, because a lot of peace can come from using natural materials, and we wanted to really focus on that Zen feel. So here we have a couple of early ideations of a wall-mounted speaker that would click on and click off that you could take. And similarly portrayed here, we went with this circular feel, which had a really nice organic energy to it, but we decided that something a little more along the lines of this with the natural materials would be a better pathway to take.
Then we went into our foam prototypes. We further explored form and focused on our best concepts from our earlier prototypes and the sketches. We really wanted to focus on the actual product size and how the user would actually interact with the product. And we wanted to focus on our key functional features like the buttons, the phone holder, and the wall mounting components. And these foam models led us to our final concept.
So here we are with the final concept, the perfect fit speaker frame model. We have this orthographic sketch here that shows the symmetry and the little bit of asymmetry that we added just to add in that organic feel to it. And yeah, it was a super nice process for the design, and we were just super excited to get into building it.
So when we started to build the final model, we started with a wooden prototype to make sure that we had all the measurements right and that the speaker components fit inside the case, and we wanted to really make sure that everything worked correctly before we went on to building the final model, because we were building the final model out of wood, so we wanted to make something out of wood prior to make sure that everything worked. We also built the frame first, all of the same type of wood, but they all have different color tones, and we built a wooden box to house the speaker, and we used speaker fabric to cover the speaker.
Yeah, we wanted to aim to have like a super durable and quality feeling frame, but still have the speaker feel light enough to be able to take it off and move it around without much effort. So
this leads us into our final concept. These are a few photos. We also have it right here with us. So it's mounted onto the wall with the frame, and then you can take out the actual speaker. So that is the portable aspect. The modular aspect comes in where if you were to have multiple of these, that they would be connected with the Bluetooth feature, so you could have surround sound in the studio.
yeah.
And then the buttons are on top, and the wireless charging is on the bottom.
Yeah, correct. So we wanted to just make it as easy to take out and use as possible. As you can see, it's super simple. It goes right back in where you want it. And yeah, it worked out great for us.
Yeah.
So here's our video of the actual functionalities.
Turning on and connecting to Bluetooth.
There it is.
Yep,
And it
the
also
top,
holds your phone.
Yep,
yeah.
the top has a phone mount that you can see in the video. All the buttons are functional, and the speaker can hold the phone so that when the instructor is teaching, they can have easy access to pause and play their music as they need.
That's right. So for our packaging design, we wanted to keep the same brand reinforcement with our perfect fit feel. So we had a simple slide package that would just take the speaker out. It would be instantly presented to you right away. It would be organic and recyclable, which also leads into our brand. And it also is just a really nice unboxing experience. It's similar to like an iPhone or something where you have that super premium feel, but it's still an organic and compositable thing.
Yeah, all our materials and our packaging and our whole design is very biophilic because it relates to our user, and the principles in yoga and meditation has a very deep connection with nature, so we wanted to make sure that that was presented in our design.
Thank you so much for listening, and we hope you enjoyed Cancel.